Warzone is dying and Fortnite is thriving for a lot of different reasons. In today's video, I'll dive into some of those reasons and discuss how Warzone could potentially save itself. But first, if you enjoy this video, feel free to hit the like button. And if you really enjoy this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me grow and encourages me to make more commentaries just like this one. Also, if you agree or disagree with my viewpoints in this video, tell me about it in the comments below, as I'd love to have friendly and insightful discussions with all of you watching and listening. All right, let's dive right into it. Reason number one, innovation and updates. Fortnite has been out since what, 2017? That's 7-8 years ago. Warzone came out 2020, probably what, a couple years after. And Fortnite has gone through so many more updates, so much more transformation in that time than Warzone has. Warzone has released 3 or 4 different iterations of Warzone at this point, with how many maps we got? Verdansk, Urzikstan, Al Mazrah, Caldera. That's 4 main maps at this point over the course of 5 years. And, you could argue that 1, maybe 2 of those 4 maps are actually decent. Fortnite has only had 1 map this entire time, but they do it in a smart way to where they just transform the map gradually over time, season to season. And they've had quite a bit of seasons, so that map has seen a lot of transformation. Obviously, some versions better than others. I think that they've just really done it the right way and gradually evolved the map. Whereas Warzone, they don't evolve the map really, except for few minor updates here and there. They mainly just, when they run out of juice on a map, they just make a new one, and usually it's worse than the one before. So I would say the first big issue of why Fortnite is doing much better than Warzone is just innovation and updates overall, and not even just to the map, to the game in general. They add new seasons that are based around different things, whether it's, Marvel or specific video games or movies or TV shows, things like that. Whereas Call of Duty does that sometimes, but they're just getting more and more greedy with these paywalls. For example, the Squid Game theme just came out for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and they just introduced an entirely different paywall, like a different battle pass specifically for Squid Games that you have to pay an additional, I don't know, was it $5 or $10 for or something like that crazy? Like, they're just very greedy. Whereas Epic, they aren't nearly as greedy, and they're just doing things the right way. And they just go about innovation and updates to their game over time just much better than Activision has in general. All right, number 2, I would say, is definitely developer engagement. Epic has just been very communicative and just listens to their community, listens to the feedback the Fortnite community has. If there's some game-breaking bug, they're very quick to address it. If, there's a weapon that's broken, they usually address it. Even if there is a weapon that's broken in Fortnite, it's not broken to the point where you can't play the game. Whereas Activision and Warzone, that is not the case. Obviously, there's metas constantly in Warzone, but there's been metas that have been so strong and broken, it just makes the game not really fun to play to an extent. Obviously, there's been some broken weapons that in a way can be fun, but for the most part, it's just headbanging, frustrating. And the worst part is everybody, I see this on Twitter all the time, everybody in the Call of Duty community pleads to Activision to just please listen to us. Please, year to year, from Warzone to Warzone, from different Call of Duty release to different Call of Duty release, just please listen to our feedback and what we want in the game, because we know, and it's not like there's a quarter of the Call of Duty player base wants this, and a quarter wants this, and then the quarter wants this, and then another quarter wants this. It's not that split. I would say it's like usually 80, 90, vast majority percentage of the Call of Duty player base wants specific changes made to the game that would better the game. But the Activision developers just refuse, not even Activision specifically, but Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, all of them, they just refuse to listen to our feedback and our pleads to make this a better game. If they would just do that, it would take Warzone so much further than it's been. And it's just very frustrating. Number 3, monetization without paywalls. And by this, I mean no pay-to-win weapons and cosmetic monetization only, which is what Fortnite does. They don't have pay-to-win weapons, as far as I know, and they haven't had it in the past either. Just cosmetic only skins, things like that, emotes, which is awesome. That's great. Warzone, on the other hand, Not quite. With each battle pass, there's specific weapons that you can unlock each season. And it's no coincidence that with these new weapons in the battle pass, they're the strongest weapons in the new metas every season. The reason for this is they're trying to mess with everybody. They're trying to get people to buy the battle pass, to play the game more, to unlock these levels of the battle pass, to unlock the weapons, then level the weapons up. And it's just a long grind. Or hold on, you can immediately get it unlocked if you pay additional money to bypass all those levels. So you're just giving Activision even more money just to unlock these pay-to-win weapons. And it's really not fair for the people that, one, don't have access to the actual Call of Duty game. They just have access to Warzone. And maybe people don't have the money to buy a battle pass every time a new one comes out. So they're not really able to access those weapons. Whereas other people, that just buy the whole battle pass in one sitting have that access and have that ability. It creates a big uneven playing field, and it's very unfair. Fortnite's really doing it right. There's no pay to win weapons. Everything is cosmetic. Everything is just visual appearance only. Everything else is even playing field, gameplay wise, weapons wise, things like that, which I think is awesome. And that's what Activision needs Warzone to be. And last but not least is if you've been paying any attention lately, it's the anti-cheat. Obviously, Warzone is in a really, really bad spot right now. Maybe the worst it's ever been. Some people are saying, which I don't know if it's the worst it's ever been. I feel like a lot of people forget when Warzone 2 first came out, it was pretty rough. You didn't have access to loadouts. The loot boxes were deafening. It was really in a really, really bad spot. But I think it's almost to that point. So Warzone is in a very bad state right now. And the vast majority of the issues is with all the cheaters and the hackers running rampant. Ricochet does not work. They've had Ricochet for 2 or 3 years now at least. And if anything, it's worse. It's not better than when it first got initiated. It's worse. It's just gotten worse and worse over time because people have learned how to game the system, how to access these cheats, how to get past everything. And so it's become so common that you run into these hackers. It's just pushing everybody away from the game. You don't want to play cheaters every game. Like, it's one thing to maybe run into one cheater every once in a while, every few games. Okay, whatever. But when you're running into multiple every game, it's an issue. And you need to address it. And they're not addressing it. And I think that's where Fortnite also just has a really big upper hand on Activision and Warzone. And that's their anti-cheat actually works. I've played a lot of Warzone. I've played a lot of Fortnite too, but not as much as Warzone. I've come across cheaters in Fortnite, not nearly as many as I have come across in Warzone. And I think it's because they have a better overall anti-cheat system for Fortnite than they do for Warzone. Epic really is on top of this. And it's interesting because I was on Twitter the other day and there was a developer or ex-developer from Epic, and he was kind of discussing Ricochet with the community and saying how easy it would be for Activision to just put a little bit of time and effort into fixing it and upgrading it. It's really not that big of a deal at all. Just a little effort from their end, and it could be so much better than it is right now. But they just refuse to do it. And it's very frustrating for the entire community. Now, how can they fix all of these issues? Those are what I think the 4 main ones that I could think of. Obviously, there's many more reasons why Fortnite is thriving and why Warzone is dying, but those are the 4 main ones. How can they fix them? So I would say to fix the innovation and updates, I think Warzone would be better off just branching off in separating themselves from the Call of Duty yearly releases. And I think Warzone should just be a separate game. And I think they should have a specific developer team for the just Call of Duty multiplayer and zombies, and then a specific developer team for Call of Duty Warzone. And I think just doing that and having that focus will really help the game in the long run, that concentration, and just really help get it in a healthy state. I think doing that would also help with the innovation of the game because you're not having to juggle multiplayer and Warzone. You're just worried about Warzone. You have a whole team just worried about Warzone, which, I guess technically they do right now. What is it? Sledgehammer or Raven or something like that. But they're doing a shit job. And I think I think it would be good. Like, it's fine if you want to do multiple maps. That's not a huge issue in my opinion, but at least have a rotation. If you come out with a new map and it's just god awful, don't make everybody play it for 2 years without anything else. Like, at least for big maps, have rotation. Do what Apex does. Have 2 or 3 maps rotating. Why not? Why can't they have all 4 maps rotating? Have Verdansk, Caldera, Urzikstan, and Al Mazrah all on rotation. Have them rotate like every month or something, or every 2 weeks. I think that would help and go a long way to just really helping the overall health of the game too, and just making the players feel like the game's refreshing and not getting stale as quickly. So I think that would help a lot in the long run. Next, developer engagement. This is pretty plain and simple. Just listen to the community and interact better. I know when Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I think it was Black Ops 6 first came out, or maybe it was Modern Warfare 3. I can't exactly remember. But one of those developers for either of those games was super active on Twitter and just really responsive with the community, with updates, which is great. But I think for multiplayer, it's been great. But for Warzone, it just fell off and it's gone radio silence. And especially these last couple months where everybody's just really frustrated with the anti-cheat system, the developer communication and engagement has just been radio silence, and it's just really frustrating everybody. So the easy fix for that is to just communicate better and more frequently, more often, and actually listen to your player base. It's that simple. Now, the third, monetization without paywalls. I feel like this is also pretty simple. Don't have pay-to-win weapons. I think it's fine to have a battle pass. Fortnite has a battle pass. Have it be cosmetic only. Do not put weapons in the battle pass. Have those available to every player to unlock and then level up on their own. Do not lock them behind a paywall. Do not make it pay-to-win. Just very sleazy. Make it available to everyone. And then last but not least, how do we fix the anti-cheat system? I'm not a developer. I'm not very technical. I don't know a lot about it. But from what I've read and the information and research I've gathered, it's not a lot from their end to just put in a little effort and upgrade Ricochet. It's not difficult. Like, with the amount of money and the resources they have, there's no reason Ricochet should be this bad. It could easily be upgraded to epic Fortnite level anti-cheat system. There's no reason it shouldn't be like that. All right. So yeah, those are the 4 biggest issues I see with Warzone and why it's dying as opposed to Fortnite thriving. And I think that's really how Warzone could take each of those issues, and they improved on those 4. Like, obviously there's many more issues with it, but I think that would be a great starting block for them and some great pillars to build on. They could improve those 4 areas. I would love to hear if you guys have other things that you think Warzone could improve upon to just help bring back some of the player base, help retain the player base, help spark that excitement again that Warzone 1 brought. I'll definitely be reading and checking them out. Curious to see what you guys write. But that's all for this commentary. I'll be back again soon, and thanks for listening. Have a good night.
On the bounty targets. Hunt them down. Primary objective complete. All targets eliminated. only a mindset.